Hello everyone, I am Dom Martino, and this is Dom Solo. Welcome. I have just watched The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 9, which is incidentally called The Marshal. A lot of people had theories about that and said that they had leaks and that it was going to be called The Search, but it was called The Marshal. And I think that this is one of the most ambitious episodes that The Mandalorian has ever pulled off. Now we're going to break this down here in a minute, but before we do, please hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, and leave some feedback in the comments section. Now let's get started. So the episode opens with a beautiful shot of Mando walking through a graffiti city, and he's going to a fight. The fight consists of two Gamorreans, and Mando sits down next to a one-eyed creature that I'm not sure the name of yet. The one-eyed creature then cheats by shooting one of the Gamorreans, and then all hell breaks loose as Mando starts to kick some ass. These are scenes that could pretty much be seen in the trailer though. I think that the hand-to-hand combat in this scene is spectacular. Mando then hangs the one-eyed monster up by a light post, and the one-eyed monster tells him that there's other Mandalorians in Tatooine. Mando then proceeds to fly to Tatooine, where we see some Tusken Raiders again. He lands in the docking bay, and we see Peli Motto from the first season. Peli Motto is played by Amy Sedaris, and she actually annoyed me in the first season. Peli takes the child as if she missed him. Din Djarin proceeds to ask Peli about other Mandalorian. Peli pulls out a map of Tatooine, and Mos Eisley and Mos Espa are both referenced on the map. Mos Eisley is obviously the cantina that Han Solo sat in A New Hope. Mos Espa, on the other hand, is a little less well known. Mando travels through Tatooine with the child. He starts talking to Tusken Raiders. Then Mando proceeds to go to a town on a speeder bike with the child and asks for a bartender. One of the biggest surprises of the episode is when somebody with Boba Fett's armor walks into the cantina, and it turns out that it's Cobb Vanth from the Aftermath novels. If you guys don't know who Cobb Vanth is, he was in the Aftermath novels walking around with Boba Fett's armor. So this actually makes a lot of sense, but I was surprised that Filoni and Favreau decided to take the leap to put him in this series. But I actually think it's awesome, and it's going to make a lot of Star Wars fans excited. Right as Mando and Cobb Vanth are about to have a shootout, it seems that an earthquake appears. Turns out it's a creature called a Krayt Dragon, which we've never seen in live-action Star Wars before. One of the things I liked about the Krayt Dragon throughout the entirety of this episode is definitely that we saw the scale of it, and this thing is massive. Now obviously at this point, this Krayt Dragon is destructing the town, and Cobb asks for Mando's help. Cobb and Mando team up, and Cobb starts to tell Mando his story. We get a flashback of Cobb Vanth in the town, and it flashes back and references to the Death Star explosion from A New Hope. Cobb explains that after the Death Star explosion, the town became a slave town. Cobb scavenged and found what he could. Here it's where we introduce the silicax crystals, which I don't think we've ever seen in Star Wars before. Now it's important to remember that we thought Boba Fett was dead all this time from Return of the Jedi when he got put down the Sarlacc pit. In the flashback, Cobb explains how he takes the crystals to some Jawas, and Jawas just happen to have Boba Fett's armor. Cobb Vanth made a trade for the armor with the Jawas. Din Djarin and Cobb Vanth seem to proceed to what I think is the Dune Sea. The creatures arrive, and Din yells to calm them down, as if he can speak their language. I thought that this was interesting, and it almost seemed a reference when Obi-Wan yelled at the Tusken Raiders back in A New Hope. Then some Tusken Raiders show up and invite them back to camp. At this point, the Tusken Raiders ask Cobb Vanth to drink something that's kind of got a smoky look to it. Vanth refuses, and chaos ensues as Mando takes his flamethrower and ignites flames at everybody. Tusken Raiders, Din Djarin, and Cobb Vanth all want to go kill the dragon. They all go to confront the dragon, and the dragon eats one of the Tusken Raiders. They realize that they'll need the townspeople to lend them some weapons, and they head back to get the townspeople's approval. After a lot of struggle, finally Mando talks them into helping. Raiders come to make peace and to gather the weapons the townspeople can provide. Then they go to war with the dragon. Now the battle sequence in this is one of the most epic things that I've ever seen in Star Wars, to be quite frank with you. Again, the scale of the dragon is just massive, and they really know how to show it here. Jon Favreau, as the director, decides to make the choice to change the aspect ratio during this battle sequence, which really gives you a sense of the scale of the battle. The dragon proceeds to get shot. The shot of the raiders getting pulled up by the dragon and eaten is one of the most mind-blowing things I've ever seen on screen. They continue to use their explosives against the dragon. For a second you think that the dragon is dead, but then the dragon comes back up through the cave, and it is scary. Din Djarin and Cod Vanth fly up to the top of the cave to take it on their own, and the dragon comes out behind them, and they are all out of options. I thought it was awesome when Din Djarin hit Cod Vanth's jetpack. It almost reminded me of when Han Solo hit Boba Fett's jetpack in Return of the Jedi, and I'm assuming that's what it was a reference to. The dragon then comes down and eats Mando, but Mando escapes the belly of the beast by putting a detonator inside the dragon and flying out with his jetpack. He proceeds to blow the dragon up from inside. Obviously, everybody taking meat from the inside of the dragon was one of the most gruesome things we've ever seen in the series. Mando takes a piece for himself and the child and puts it on the back of his speeder. Cod Vanth shakes his hand and they part ways. As Mando is heading back on the speeder, we do see a shot of somebody from the back. He turns around and it looks like it's Boba Fett, all scarred up without his armor. In closing, this episode was awesome. I think it really sets up a lot for the future. My theory is in the next episode, Boba Fett will confront Din Djarin and ask him to team up so they can take down Cod Vanth together and get his armor back. Another thing to keep in mind is that Boba Fett knows about the Jedi. Part of Mando's mission is to take the child back to his own kind, and I feel like Boba Fett can give Mando that information. Of course, in exchange for Din Djarin's services. Well guys, this turned out to be a fantastic first episode of the second season of The Mandalorian. I really want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Once again, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with your friends. And that is all I got today. Until next time, I've been Dom Martino, and you've been watching Dom Solo.